It was supposed to be just another lunch break, until the loud crash silenced the entire cafeteria. Everyone turned. And there she was, Emma, lying on the ground, helpless and shocked, her wheelchair smashed to pieces by the cruel laughter of bullies who thought her pain was their entertainment. What they didn't know was that her older brother had just returned from overseas. And he had seen everything. Emma Reynolds was 15. Bright, kind, and full of life, she loved painting flowers and reading books that let her imagine a world bigger than her own. Born with spina bifida, Emma had never known life without her wheelchair. It was her legs, her freedom, her way of moving through a world that didn't always move with her. But even with her condition, Emma never asked for pity. Her smile was disarming, and her quiet strength inspired many, except for the group of students who found her different, and difference, to them, meant weakness. Emma had been bullied before. Whispers behind her back. Mocking jokes. Even gum stuck to her wheels once. But she always brushed it off, never letting it break her spirit. Her motto, written in bright paint above her bedroom mirror, was one her brother gave her before leaving for duty: pain shapes you. Don't let it define you. But that day in the cafeteria, that day was different. Rising conflict. Lunch had just begun. Emma had barely rolled to her usual table, tray in hand, when the three bullies, Kyle, Mason, and Trent, strutted over like they owned the room. They were loud, crass, and filled with a sense of power they hadn't earned. Kyle grinned wickedly. "Hey, Emma. Custom wheels, huh? Bet those cost more than my car." Emma tried to ignore them. "Oh wait," Mason chimed in, snatching her tray, "you forgot your humble pie." They started laughing. Emma stayed silent. Her fingers trembled on the armrest. That's when Trent, the biggest one, stepped behind her and gave the chair a rough shake. Oops. Earthquake. The laughter grew louder. Then, with no warning, Kyle ran forward and kicked the side of the wheelchair. The metallic snap was loud. Screws clattered to the floor. The chair jolted and buckled. Emma screamed as the entire left side gave in, and she collapsed. Food spilled everywhere. Her books scattered. Her body, fragile but brave, hit the hard cafeteria floor. Silence. Gasps. Phones out. Some students recorded. Others just watched. And from the door behind them, footsteps. Introduction of the brother, Staff Sergeant Lucas Reynolds. The footsteps grew louder. Boots on tile. The kind that made bullies freeze. Lucas Reynolds had returned home the night before. A decorated Marine, he'd served 3 tours, seen combat up close, and carried scars both visible and hidden. But nothing prepared him for the sight of his little sister sprawled on a cafeteria floor, crying silently as laughter echoed around her. "Emma," he said, voice sharp. Emma turned. Her tear-filled eyes met his. The room held its breath. Lucas walked forward, slow, deliberate, past rows of stunned students. His posture was rigid, his jaw clenched. He kneeled by Emma, helping her up, checking her for injuries. Then he turned to the broken chair. And then to the boys. Kyle looked smug. "Who's this, your babysitter?" Lucas didn't speak. He stepped forward, towering over them. His voice was calm. Too calm. "Which one of you broke the chair?" No one spoke. "I asked a question." Kyle tried to puff up. "Just having fun." "Chill, man. She's fine." Lucas's eyes hardened. "You call this fun?" Trent stepped back. "We didn't mean." Lucas raised a finger. "Enough." The silence became unbearable. "Here's what's going to happen," he said, glancing at the cafeteria staff now rushing in. "You're going to apologize. You're going to help her up. And you're going to pay for every screw, bolt, and ounce of dignity you just tried to take away." Kyle scoffed, "Or what?" Lucas stepped closer, leaned down, and said quietly enough for just them to hear. "Or I make sure you feel exactly what it's like to be powerless and alone." Emotional fallout. Emma was taken to the nurse. Lucas stayed by her side the whole time. She didn't say much. Just clung to his arm and asked, "Why do they hate me?" Lucas looked away. "They don't hate you, Emma. They hate themselves. And they take it out on people they know shine brighter." She sniffled. "I don't feel very bright right now." He took her hand. "Then let me remind you." Over the next few days, the story spread. The video clips posted by bystanders went viral. But instead of glorifying the cruelty, people rallied behind Emma. Strangers donated money. One veteran who lost his legs in combat sent her a custom-made titanium wheelchair, stronger, faster, and sleeker than anything she'd ever used before. Lucas even took her to the Marine base one afternoon. Let her meet others who lived with wounds, both visible and not. She laughed for the first time in days. And the bullies? They were suspended. Ordered to do community service at a center for kids with disabilities. For the first time, they had to see the world through the eyes of those they mocked. Resolution and uplift. 2 months later, Emma wheeled back into school, this time with pride. Her new chair gleamed. Her head was high. She was no longer just the disabled girl. She was Emma Reynolds, a survivor, a warrior, and a symbol of quiet strength. She started a club, Unseen Courage, for students with disabilities or invisible battles. And Lucas? He gave talks at local schools about kindness, strength, and how real courage isn't in fists or fear, but in standing up or rolling forward when it's hardest. Closing message. So the next time you see someone struggling, don't laugh. Don't walk by. Don't film. Stand up. Speak out. Be kind. Because you never know who's watching. And you never know the strength of the heart you try to break. Loudspeaker comment below. Have you ever witnessed or experienced something similar? Tell us your story. Your voice might be the light someone else needs today. Folded hands. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to Be Kind Always, where every story reminds us that kindness is the real power. Let's make the world a little more human, one story at a time. Yellow Heart.